I'm Dr. Sandra Brown. I'm an ophthalmologist in North Carolina, and I have no financial conflicts of interest. I'm here to talk to you today about Diagnosing Scam Pharma Part 4B. Rebecca and Aidan go to Vision Expo West. I initially produced Part 4, which you just saw as Part 4A. And then the stuff that happened at Vision Expo West was so wild that I had to turn that into 4A and do Part 4B. Before Vision Expo, Rebecca and I strategized. She said, I'm going to go ask Regenerize a few simple questions. And I said, well, try to get some photos of their booth, for which she said, duh. Then she very jokingly said, maybe we'll get thrown out. She really didn't mean it. And I said, get the intel first. Also not really meaning it. And then Rebecca and Aidan were, in fact, briefly detained by Expo security by asking questions very nicely of the Regenerize reps and taking photos. The most flattering moment of the meeting was when Aidan's dry eye foundation badge, which was visible, led to him being immediately identified as the enemy, and Regenerize staff refused to answer his simple questions. And while I'm here, this is my ask. Please donate to the Dry Eye Foundation so that Rebecca and her amazing staff can continue to travel to conferences. I was in clinic and I started to get all these text messages. Rebecca was updating me about Vegas. And what the update was that she was detained by Expo security. And I said, the exhibit hall was open like 3 hours. So did you get some intel? She said, yes. I said, okay, well, fine. She said, well, it brought us to the attention of the organizers because they'd been ignoring her emails for weeks. I reminded her that I was operating the next day. If she was going to need bail, she needed to call me before 9 EST. And this is the intel from Vision Expo West. Check out the photo. In the upper left-hand corner is a big stack of the iWorld Supplement white paper from 2021, which was authored by a very famous key opinion leader. Lower left, the Vision Expo West 2022 Regenerize brochure. I'm putting the date in there because this is a brand new brochure. We have not seen it before. And this is how to throw your key opinion leader under the bus. Because the new for Vision Expo brochure says that Regenerize is not immunosuppressive. But the famous key opinion leader, who is the author of the white paper, says, due to its potent immunosuppressive and regenerative properties. So is it not immunosuppressive, or is it a potent immunosuppressive? This is certainly a very embarrassing question for this key opinion leader to have to answer. And really, you guys, you might not want to hand that out because in the conclusion, it says, Regenerize drops are a topical therapy for dry eye disease. They are an engineered biological product. The problem is, according to the United States Code, the Code of Federal Regulations, pretty much all of the Food and Drug Administration and the entire non-regenerative pharma universe, biological products require biologics licenses before being marketed or sold through interstate commerce, which I have said many times to make these presentations. What's funny is that the actual language of the law uses the precise term biological product. Regenerize clearly didn't read any of that before they went into business. So here we are. You can download the white paper yourself off of the For Eye Care Providers section of the Regenerize webpage. It's companioned by a very long list of very scientific-sounding articles about regenerative medicine. Well, they threw their famous older key opinion leader under the bus, but they don't need that person anymore. They got a fresh young KOL. And this is a social media blast that went out before the meeting that says, among other things, Regenerize gets FDA indication to relieve dryness of the eye. Also, advertised again, preservative-free. It's described as advanced dry eye therapy. And conveniently enough, after hashtag, we have the word placenta. I say convenient because this means I can make fun of it. Basically, Regenerize is over-the-counter pretending again. With the statement, Regenerize gets an FDA indication to relieve dryness of the eye. To which I say, sorry, but no. All right, yeah, I am not sorry. Remember that Regenerize updated its pretender over-the-counter listings because we called it out and made fun of it for trying to evade the Food and Drug Administration by failing to state a condition or symptom on the box. But #placenta, drugs that contain proteins cannot be over the counter. Does this mean no proteins? I'm confused. And then we have the problem with 21 CFR Part 200.50, a big violation alert. The statement preservative-free, which this KOL is saying like it's a good thing. So there's no preservatives. There's no multi-dose preservative-free dropper. Regenerize Light is marketed for room temperature storage, and both products are marketed for a 90-day open bottle time. To which I would ask this doctor, if I was there and able to approach the microphone without being dragged off by security, would you personally use this eye drop on day 89? Now, how about advanced? Well, we know it's not biologic. That word's been eliminated from all the marketing. Or maybe they're pretending it's not biologic. This is just getting more and more confusing. But if you click the link to show the actual ingredients listed on Daily Med, it says glycerin and sterile water. There is nothing at all advanced about that. And what about that #placenta? It's not a source of glycerin. So I would say, dear new key opinion leader, please watch the video Sludge. Snail observes 0.4% glycerin. He thinks that's advanced. I guess he's easy to please. My reply is, maybe he has other people for the details. You know, details like the science. Here's our ask for the FDA. Would you please inspect them? You can inspect regenerative processing plant and also neobiosis with one trip to Florida. It's a nice time of year. Saddle up. And I have to loop back here for a moment to the placebo effect, because Rebecca reported that there were a couple of eye care providers at the meeting who very passionately believed in the Regenerize eye drops. They believed based on the response of one or two patients in their own practices. So if this is you and you believe your relief, I'd really like to ask you to watch again the placebo effect, parts 1, 2, and 3, to understand how it works and understand how it might be affecting your response to this eye drop. And I'm going to add something to this down below, that curved arrow that goes from your relief as the patient to your doctor's belief. Because the placebo effect, when it starts with your physician's belief in a certain product or treatment, can be very self-reinforcing. You just have to understand that this may be most or all of the benefit that you're experiencing from this eye drop. And I hope that the company's recent behaviors have put some doubt into your mind about whether this is a biological product at all with any regenerative properties. If it even started out that way. We know it doesn't stay that way. The video Sludge will teach you about that. Be smart. Consider the evidence. New brochure, Regenerize is not immunosuppressive or steroidal. So Regenerize LLC is backpedaling like mad on the so-called biologic nature of their eye drops. And they're doing this to avoid those unenlightened, obstructive people at the Food and Drug Administration. Their, quote, hypotonic eye drops are possibly just wildly overpriced, unsafe glycerin dry eye drops. They won't tell anyone what tonicity solution is, and they won't tell anyone what the dilution ratio is. So even if tonicity solution is a thing, and it's really in there, it could be one tiny drop of tonicity solution in one giant vat of 0.4 or 0.5% glycerin. Be smart. Consider more evidence. Regenerize is still trying to fool doctors by handing out the white paper, hashtagging placenta on social media, and keeping the 4 eye care providers part of their website filled with trashy pseudoscientific articles, which contain references to amniotic membrane, exosomes, and the notorious DMAPs. Looping back to the very first scam Pharma, the Facebook Photos album biopsy. Let's biopsy Vision Expo West 2022. What's our diagnosis? Scam Pharma. Type, biologic eye drop. Subtype, pretender over the counter. I hope this talk has really given you a lot to think about. The goal of Diagnosing Scam Pharma Parts 4 and Parts 4B is to bring to your attention some behaviors of the company which should really cause you to very much doubt any concept you have of what's really in that bottle and how safe it is to use it and why you're paying for it and why these people can't just be straight up with you and your eye care providers. That's because this is Scam Pharma. Thank you for listening.